I starved myself. I got down to where I was only doing 400 calories a day. But internally, I was dying.
We are so excited. Today we have DANA SKRODZKI with us, and she is a body empowerment consultant. Bring me back to growing up and what you went through and how you took some of your adversity and where you are today.
Yeah, so coming back to my childhood, I was a soccer player, softball player, everything you put in much physically I could do. But internally I was dying. It was like the understanding of being able to see my body in a beautiful light was really, really hard. I mean, I starved myself. I got down to where I was only doing 400 calories a day. And
How long was that?
That was for 6 years, 6 or 7 years.
Okay, you were eating 400 calories a day.
I went through a stage of 400 calories a day while I was in competitive swimming. And then I went into bulimia. It was this idea that I wasn't enough. Like I was seeing my body, they call it body dysmorphic disorder.
Okay.
And I had self-diagnosed because I found a book and I was reading and I was like, oh my gosh, this is me, and how am I going to get out of that? But it was this idea that I kept striving to hear that I was loved. I was kept striving to say that I was enough. I kept striving to have that perfection.
What was going through your head?
I finally was sitting there and I was praying and I was just like, this was the worst kidney infection I've ever had. I mean, the pain was, and I said, I'll stop.
What brought you out of the bulimia and anorexia?
I think it was just more of something to me telling me I wanted to live.
Okay.
I knew that I had more to give. I knew that I wasn't supposed to die. I knew that this was awful, what I was doing to this vessel that I had been given. And so I kind of just started to, once again, on my own, figure out what foods I could eat. What was I able to do? But within that was a road because of everything I did. I had all these now conditions that were, really hard to introduce food again.
And so, so you're stepping back out and now you're in school.
Yeah.
You're going to school, and then what happens?
I became empowered. I became to realize my confidence and where I was really good. And I started to educate people, work with athletes, work with chiropractors, physical therapists. This idea that I wasn't intelligent went away, and I found where I was really good.
What triggers you today?
What triggers me today is when there you are working with women, there you are, and there's still that cattiness, that's going around. I'm like, why are we in this place that we can't all see that each and every one of us deserve the best? Each and every one of us, there's enough people for all of us to succeed. And it's this idea that competition's always going to be there, but how can we shift the dynamics of it?
What could you say to somebody who doesn't necessarily believe in self-care or self-love? Like, what do you talk through in your own mind and then help other women achieve?
What I try to do first off is neurologically, right? We have to change the mind. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing you can control.
You bet.
Right? So if you start with the mind, and even with those doubts or those fears or anything comes in, you constantly go to a positive affirmation. You come right back to it. And I tell people, say it over and over again. If you're in your car for 20 minutes, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Why not? And it brings me back to a funny stage of the Saturday Night Live, Stuart Smalley, and everyone always laughs, right? But it's true. The neurological makeup normally takes about 90 days, right? To retrain your brain.
Sure.
How to work for you. The most important thing, though, what you can tell your body and your mind, it's safe for you to receive.
So you can give and give and give, but it's okay to receive.
Because if you do not receive, that give and give and give eventually takes a toll because you're not receiving back that love and that light into your body so that you can recharge and go out again and give.
Where would you say you're making the greatest impact?
I feel I'm making the greatest impact for those that didn't have a voice.
Okay.
those who didn't feel enough to step forward to where they wanted to go or their dreams. You know, my motto is anything is possible if you believe, because there are resources out there everywhere.
You bet.
You know, and it's just if you can come back within you and listen to your own dialogue, and if something needs to be shifted, shift it to realize and empower yourself, then in turn you empower the world around you.
You bet. So as you're looking to help women build confidence, right?
Yeah.
It's one small step at a time.
It is.
What are those first steps that you went through that you feel like you can share with other women?
Yeah, if people would just come back to breathing and reminding themselves that life is a gift. You're here for a reason. If you're still here, you're here for a reason.
Bet.
And there's more work to be done.
These women's stories are so impactful. Arras Sisters creates opportunities for women.